Something you should see. It's milder than I thought it would be.
One of those guys killed Eric Mitchell.
Okay, but this just looks like a bad joke.
Oh, wait, look at Wallace.
Well, huh?
Yeah, sure, he's enjoying the joke, but every time he looks directly at Mitchell,
Intense disgust.
that's more than a bad joke.
When Manny Trio killed my husband, I was angry. For years I couldn't even say his name. And one day someone told me about his book. I had a morbid curiosity, so I went out and bought a copy. I read the whole thing in 2 days. I was shocked. How could that man have written such... I was just... Everything I had believed, it changed the way I look at things. Miss Sando, do you believe Mr. Trio has changed? Yes. Yes, I do. I believe he's repented. He's changed his heart. And he's changed mine.
That's quite a statement. Yeah. Hope she doesn't believe a word she just said.
Miss Sando, do you believe Mr. Trio has changed? Yes? Yes, I do.
There it is. Slightest head shake, no. Now, we do this by accident when we don't mean what we say. Holly Sando did it every time she said she thought the trio had changed. And then there's this.
You can't let him die in this prison.
There. Classic glare. She's still a surprising true believer in Mr. Trio.
Why then lobby for the release of a man who killed your husband if you don't believe he's changed?
Perhaps she's trying to convince herself. Maybe she believes he's changed intellectually, but she can't quite get there emotionally.
Maybe Trio got one of his old buddies to threaten. People always think that anger is the most dangerous emotion, but disgust is the language of hatred.
Hitler talking about the Jews, Bin Laden talking about Americans, and you during the hazing of Eric Mitchell.
What did you have against Eric Mitchell?
The kid made my life hell.
You've been with the department for almost a decade. How does a probie like Mitchell make your life hell?
9 years. 9 years and I never had a problem. The occasional bad joke. But I went in the locker, I kept my mouth shut. When I'm black, when I'm white, we're firemen. So we get hazed. Mitchell get hazed, he runs to the Balkans. The Black Firefighter Society requested a transfer. Mitch, they disgrace you.
So you had to choose time.
I tried to protect him. But he was young and proud. He wouldn't learn. And the more he pushed, the worse it got.
So you hopped on the fire wagon. Found out he had a peanut allergy, and you thought, well, that'll teach him?
Yeah, we did that months ago. The kid got hives all over, and it was funny as hell, but it didn't kill him. Things got much worse. I guess someone screwed with his equipment. If it wasn't you, I wouldn't touch another firefighter's equipment. Now, I may have hated the kid, but I didn't want him dead.
Someone did. Who had the racial problem with Mitchell?
A lot of guys. It could have been any one of them.
Can't believe Wallace didn't come forward earlier. Black firefighter won't rat on the racist. It is a little surprising, isn't it?
Well, not really. The firehouse was a more important association for Wallace than race. And in his mind, race wasn't an issue until Mitchell came along.
You're saying this was Eric's fault? No, this is the new face of racism. Instead of overt prejudice, you see unconscious discrimination. Nobody's joining the Klan, but a lot of people still hire the white guy over the black guy with the same resume.
And when unconscious racism surfaces, it can be lethal. What starts out as reasonable hazing turns deadly.
So how do we find the men responsible?
We'd like to run the company through a little experiment. As I said earlier, I've read his books and I've seen him interviewed, and I really believe that Manny Trio is a changed man. I asked Alexander to come in. She wasn't up for it, so I pulled her statements to the press after the parole hearing. I think it's amazing the way he's turned himself around. She's watched contempt, anger. She still hates the guy. You may be right. Trio may be threatening her.
No, I told you. Everything we've seen from Trio up till now, the old videotape, the interview, everything suggests he's evolved. He's not the same man at all.
Did any of the reporters ask her why she decided to testify for Trio? Yeah, they did.
Miss Sandel, tell me what made you come forward after all these years.
I had heard that the governor was considering a pardon, and I thought, well, it's time. I rose up, pulled together.
Yeah.
There's your answer.
Stopping by for lunch. Now, it's just a question. Did you get someone to threaten Holly Sandow?
I'm not threatening Holly Sandow.
Right? Because, I mean, that would be your typical gangbanger move, right? Get in touch with your old familiars, send her a message.
That's certainly not anymore.
You sure you haven't called any of your old friends?
I don't look just like that.
Oh, now that is not the truth. You see how you're hunched over? Well, we do that. On my line, try to take up as little space as possible. Now, you really got to work on that anger trigger, mate.
Rate is the blood pressure and the heart rate. It's not good for you. Picture this. I'm in contact with someone. I'm working with the gang task force on the truth we can bring us around. Told me to keep it quiet, it's dangerous. I haven't been sending anyone out after Holly Sandow.
I don't believe you. He hasn't changed. His truth, just so that the cops won't notice that he's taking over El Puño again.
None is real ni mentira. Nothing is real or a lie. It all depends on the color of the glass you're looking through. Look, there's so much good I can do if you just get me out of here. Get me out of here and I'll prove it to you.
Over the next 10 minutes, you'll be shown a series of images. Each image will be followed by a series of adjectives. If the adjective describes the image, click yes. If not, click no.
Hey, Sylvia. What are you guys up to? We're testing for racial bias. People with unconscious bias find it easier to associate positive adjectives with Caucasian faces. When we shift to an African-American face, the biased firefighter still associates the adjective with the image. It just takes them longer. Plus the racist.
Oh, they're all racist. Yeah, 80% of people who take this test are biased. We're just looking for the guy who takes the longest.
Oh, they're just not done. All right, can we pull up the average association time for each of them?
Taking David Caddick 3 times as long to say nice things about African Americans.
Looks like we have